thanks for putting that picture of me up there when I was younger. I think that's like a 10-year-old picture. So that's the picture was equally as flattering as the introduction, actually. So I appreciate that. When you're my age, you need all the help you can get. I'd also like to thank Josh Baer and Sam Decker and Brian and all the mentors at Capital Factory, not just for the service that they've provided the entrepreneurs today, but the important service that they're providing to the Austin community by putting this event on. It's funny, people often ask me what my job is, and it's kind of hard to describe. And so what I like to say is that my job is to hunt thunder lizards. I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about what thunder lizards are and why I think they're important. But it sort of starts with trying to find companies and help them achieve global hegemony in their markets. Because, in my view, high tech is a winner-take-all business. And the thunder lizards tend to have a very disproportionate impact, not just on the tech business, but on our lives. And so I thought I would talk about thunder lizards in terms of some of the patterns that I've seen, what seems to work, and some lessons that we might learn. And also to sort of admonish people that although not every company is a thunder lizard, and although you don't have to be one, you'd be surprised at how possible it is. And you in the chair may be starting the next one someday. So thunder lizards start with great people, and I hope I can get through this part without being too much of a dork, actually. These three people in particular really helped me out in the early days. Evan Williams was the first entrepreneur I ever backed. So when I went to Silicon Valley, I basically immigrated there. I started out by flying on Sunday nights to my in-laws' house, and I'd stay there till Thursday, and my job was just to try to find something exciting to do in Silicon Valley. I thought there was a big consumer internet wave about to happen, and I wanted to get involved. And in the early days, I saw some resistance because people said, well, first of all, you're a former washed-up enterprise software guy from out of town, and secondly, you've never even made an angel investment in your life, much less a consumer internet investment. And third of all, what do you know about consumer internet? And I was like, those are all good points, but it's still a big opportunity. And so the first entrepreneur I backed, this guy Evan Williams, that ended up being a lucky choice because he started this podcasting company called Odeo, which sort of re-swizzled itself into Twitter. And I remember at the time when I first met Evan, I was just like, it wasn't one of those things where he was convincing me to invest. I was begging him to let me invest. I was like, look, nobody thinks I know squat about consumer internet. Please take some of my money, just any amount. I don't care what it is. Just please take some. And so fortunately he did, and that was a good thing. And then the next entrepreneur I backed is a guy that lives not far from Evan, a guy named Kevin Rose of Dig. And it was the same thing with Dig. With Dig, I basically crashed a meeting that he was having with Ron Conway, who's a sort of an Uber angel of Silicon Valley. And once again, I just begged Kevin to invest. Within 24 hours, I was just like threatening to go on a hunger strike in his apartment, if he didn't let me put some money in. And then Paul Martino of Aggregate Knowledge is the third guy, and it's sort of an interesting story. I didn't actually get to invest in his company, but he was pitching me a few times, and I kept saying, you're not ready, you're not ready. The first name of the company was Start Page 2.0. I was like, I hate that name, it's terrible. And you're not close enough to the money, all this stuff. So one day I get this call from him, and he goes, I just got my term sheet from Kleiner Perkins. And I thought, okay, this is the I told you so, you're an idiot call. And I thought, well, hey, congratulations, that's awesome. And so he goes, so I said, that clearly I'm stupid, to have not paid more attention to what you're doing. And he goes, oh, no, that's not true at all. You asked me all these hard questions before I talked to the Kleiner guys. And so I asked Randy Komisar if I could make you an advisor to Aggregate Knowledge. And he said it's okay. And so I said, okay, cool. So I'm an advisor to Aggregate Knowledge. So the reason I want to bring these people up is not just because they had thunder lizard ambitions, but this is the part I got to get through. I promised myself that if we had any success, that I wouldn't forget the generosity of these guys. So if any of you guys are on Twitter or anything like that, if you could just let them know how thankful I am to them. Okay, and then getting on with things, SolarWinds. SolarWinds, I want to recognize those guys. They're good guys that we've worked with. Not only did they go public and do well by their shareholders, but they sort of helped Austin get its groove back. Not just Austin, but the high-tech and IPO landscape. And then also I'd like to recognize a couple of guys. Some of you may know Brett Hurt of Bizarre Voice. He was the Entrepreneur of the Year in Austin, Ernst & Young Awards. And then Usman Rashid, who we work with at Chegg. So Bizarre Voice is what I like to call an example of a B2B2C company. They sell to companies who want to have consumer experiences on their websites. So, in the case of Bizarre Voice, they provide word-of-mouth marketing and reviews to these websites. And then Usman Rashid invented an idea around textbook rentals. And so he thought, well, if people rent movies, why can't they rent textbooks, especially since they're so expensive? And in the last couple of years, Chegg has grown, let's see, what am I allowed to say? Okay, they grew more than 10,000% from 07 to 08, and this year they've already grown more than 500% halfway, two-thirds of the way through the year. So these guys are rocking and rolling. And then real Thunder Lizard entrepreneurs, they don't just have ambitions to make money and start good companies, but they want to change the world. And so, Jay Adelson was in Time's 100 Most Influential People in 2008, and then the Twitter guys in 2009. And so, back to sort of what I was suggesting earlier, part of what makes this fun is just working with really awesome people. And we're gonna talk some more about some of them. And I don't want to just talk about awesome people we work with, but it's important. Thunder Lizards start with awesome people. They start with a different kind of person, and you can't really describe the perspective of a Thunder Lizard without looking at it through the eyes of these types of individuals. And then the other reason I wanted to bring it up was a lot of the examples of what Thunder Lizards have done right. I think some of these guys are doing, and it'll help to have that as a frame of reference. So let's start with Thunder Lizard traits. I do tend to like the term Thunder Lizard more than MBA jargony terms like disruptive company or breakout success story or that kind of thing, because Thunder Lizard to me sort of captures the essence of what a truly ambitious startup should be trying to do. So the first thing you need to know about Thunder Lizards is where they start from. So where I came up with the idea of Thunder Lizards is the movie Godzilla. Has anybody ever seen the movie Godzilla? Okay, so Godzilla, the genesis of Godzilla is he was hatched from radioactivated atomic eggs. And so Thunder Lizards don't really happen by accident. They start out with teams and entrepreneurs who have a huge idea, who want to change the world, who want to turn things upside down, who want to play offense, who want to keep other people guessing and defending and reacting to what they do. And so the first thing that you look for in a Thunder Lizard is it hatched from atomic eggs in terms of the team and the ambition? Are they trying to be awesome and there's no plan B?